This is a living sanctuary of gold and marble, forged as a bridge between the earthly and divine.
Nestled in the fertile plains of Punjab, India, it stands surrounded by a vast historic tank.
Begun in the late 16th century, its timeless foundation has endured for over 400 years. How did an ancient pool evolve into an indestructible global symbol of ultimate peace and equality?
Historians believe construction commenced with thousands of devotees volunteering to excavate the earth.
Early chroniclers note that the initial digging created a massive community effort, known as Kar Seva.
The pool, named Amritsar, or Pool of Nectar, formed the core around which everything would rise.
Records indicate a famous Muslim Sufi saint was invited to lay the foundational brick in 1589.
Local kilns worked continuously to supply unique, highly durable bricks required for the base. The foundation walls were built exceptionally thick to withstand water pressure from the tank. Precision engineering ensured the entire central platform sat perfectly level with the horizon. A dedicated causeway foundation was mapped out, connecting the outer bank to the inner shrine. Historians note the use of lime mortar, which hardens progressively when exposed to water. Materials arrived daily from regional quarries, driven by hundreds of cooperative workers. The unique central island design was intentionally chosen to isolate the house of worship. Every block was meticulously dressed by hand to prevent structural shifting over time. As the foundation neared completion, the scale of the grand tank became visually clear. Natural groundwater and diverted streams began filling the tank during the final base stage. Iron clamps provided extra stability, protecting the core platform against shifting currents. By the end of this phase, a massive, level island stood ready to support the main structure. Sturdy wooden scaffolding began to rise around the perimeter, signaling the next construction phase. Architectural plans firmly established 4 open doors, facing all 4 cardinal directions. The primary structural walls began their ascent directly from the reinforced stone platform. With the substructure secured, the iconic monument was finally ready to climb toward the heavens. Scholars emphasize that the masonry work relied on precise interlocking joints rather than mortar. The completed brickwork of the holy tank established a massive, perfectly watertight reservoir. Every access path was heavily reinforced to bear the weight of centuries of arriving pilgrims. Logistical records show timber was floated across the filling tank to expedite material transport. With the colossal foundation complete, the sanctuary was ready to grow skyward from the water. The structure began taking shape as workers raised the thick red brick walls of the ground level. Each doorway was crafted with meticulous precision to align perfectly with the cardinal points. Historians note the second level began quickly to accommodate growing assemblies of devotees. Internal arches were introduced early on to distribute weight safely across the lower levels.
The causeway bridge was completed next, formalizing the permanent pathway to the inner island.
Every window was engineered to allow maximum natural light to flood the central prayer hall. The structural core rose in perfect symmetry. creating a solid base for the upper features.
The upper terrace floor was laid with flat stones, completing the main multi-tiered layout. By this stage, the building was completely encircled by the shimmering, fully filled tank.
Workers began preparing the upper roof line, shaping the mounts for the future iconic domes. Early descriptions indicate the brick walls were coated in protective lime plaster first. Inside, a dedicated space was framed to securely hold the community's sacred scriptures.
The core architecture stood solid by 1604, marking the completion of the structural phase. Artisans then began carving early stone reliefs, introducing traditional artistic motifs. With the main shell secured, the site prepared for decades of subsequent embellishments. Later expansions saw the outer courtyard grow, framing the central pool in a massive square. In later eras, the original brick walkways were gradually encased in elegant white marble. A vast perimeter arcade was built over time, offering continuous shade to traveling pilgrims. Early decorative projects introduced basic stone inlay work along the lower structural trim. The emerging sanctuary stood as a masterwork of early design, poised for its golden future. The brick structural shell was layered with fine mortar to prepare for its massive marble veneer. Architectural accounts describe the early lower walls rapidly transforming into brilliant white stone. 4 small corner pavilions, or chhatris, were mapped out to balance the heavy roof layout. Every element adhered strictly to classic symmetry, keeping all proportions uniform and even. The primary structural phase concluded successfully, setting a monumental canvas for the gold. Surprisingly, it was designed lower than the surrounding land, requiring visitors to walk downward. Unlike traditional temples with one entrance, these 4 doors welcome all castes and creeds. The original sanctuary featured minimal imagery, focusing purely on sound and meditation. An ingenious drainage network kept the holy tank's water level completely stable year-round. The design intentionally fostered humility, subverting usual royal styles of the 16th century. The ultimate transformation began later with the framing of the iconic central dome structure. Builders used lightweight, height-strength bricks to form the perfect curvature of the vault. The central dome was completed structurally, creating the definitive silhouette of the temple. Under Maharaja Ranjit Singh, heavy copper plates were prepared to encase the entire upper half. Each plate was beaten meticulously by hand to match the exact contours of the dome arches. Multiple layers of pure gold leaf were applied, creating an incredibly thick and luminous shield. The arrival of the gold panels marked the definitive transition into the Golden Temple era. The first gilded plates were fixed securely, beginning the brilliant capping of the sanctuary.
The dome was encased steadily, layer by layer, turning the upper structure into a beacon of light.
A magnificent lotus-shaped golden finial was placed at the apex, completing the dome profile. The completed main dome cast a brilliant, unmistakable reflection across the entire sacred tank. Gold plating quickly extended downward, encasing the entire upper story facade in rich metal. The surrounding corner pavilions were similarly gilded, creating a balanced corporate harmony. With the upper sections fully gilded, the iconic architecture assumed its legendary profile. The transformation created an everlasting testament to devotion, reflecting light, day, and night. Historians document that complex pietra dura floral patterns were embedded directly into the white marble. Every marble surface was polished relentlessly by hand to maximize the light-reflecting qualities. Inside the main chamber, the smooth inner shell was prepared for intricate geometric frescoes. The surrounding gateways were designed in contrast, framing the main golden core with red sandstone. Sacred script was etched permanently into the entrances, blessing everyone who crossed the threshold. As the structural scaffold dropped away, the final breathtaking vision began to stun observers. Ornate latticework screens were fitted to filter breeze and light into the inner prayer spaces. The grand approach walkway was finished with clean, patterned stones to guide incoming crowds. Even functional drainage elements were converted into golden art, matching the religious theme. The surrounding park and cloister arcade reached full completion, framing the pool perfectly. Interior embellishments mirrored the grand exterior, rich with handcrafted floral details. Devotees washed down the expansive marble parkway, initiating a tradition of continuous cleaning. The massive structural gates were swung into place, completing the protective outer layout. The total complex emerged as an independent sanctuary city, functioning under its own order. The interior layout stood completely prepared, awaiting its role as a spiritual home for millions. The architecture stood completely finalized, creating a flawless harmony between stone and liquid. The golden cladding created an eternal shield, ensuring the structure remains brilliant through time. The pure white marble base anchor stood strong, supporting the heavenly weight above it safely. Every element of its unique structural layout stands as a deliberate message of spiritual peace. With the full plaza completed, the sanctuary became a timeless destination of ultimate harmony. The ancient pool successfully evolved, creating an indestructible shield of total global unity. By offering 4 open doorways, it permanently answered the call for total human equality. The architectural structure stands immortal, proving that humility remains the ultimate power. It conquered division not by force, but by providing an eternal refuge of absolute peace. It conquered division not by force, but by providing an eternal refuge of absolute peace. This is the Golden Temple, a glowing beacon of inclusion, standing forever complete for the world.